What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the BTR Garage. My name is Justin, and in today's video we're going to be doing some basic maintenance on our 2013 Toyota Highlander. We have a cabin air filter which we're going to replace on the inside of the vehicle. This keeps your airflow from your air conditioning and heating systems clean. And we also have an engine intake filter as well. These are super easy to install. Save a lot of money by doing this yourself. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get started with the cabin air filter. We're going to come over to the passenger side of the vehicle, open up the glove box, and we actually have to remove the glove box from the vehicle, but it's super easy. First thing you're going to want to do is remove this little connector right here. This is what keeps the tension on the glove box. It's as simple as pulling it down and sliding it right out. Try to get a close-up of that. Once that is disconnected, we're going to look on the inside of the glove box, and on each side you've got those little hangers that hang the glove box. All you have to do is push in on this interior panel right here, and that will kind of fall out. Let's see if we can do it here. Pushing in, and there you can see it came undone. So that's now loose. We have to do the same thing for the other side. It's a little bit difficult to see. Boom! And everything falls out of the glove box. Normally you're going to want to do this with two hands. You can grab one hand over here, grab one hand on this side, and just squeeze it, and it'll lower right out and you won't have everything dump out of your glove box. So now we'll take a look behind the glove box. This little compartment right here has this black cover on it. On each side there are these plastic push tabs. We're going to push those in and pull away at the cover. That will allow us access to the filter. Got one side loose. There we go. See how that just pops off like that? Set that aside, and we can pull out our cabin air filter here. There we go, simple as that. You can see this is the nice dirty cabin air filter. Doesn't look terrible, but you can see the dirt and leaves and things like that in it. So we'll grab our Fram filter, open it up. You can see this one's obviously nice and clean. Get the new one out of the package here. Reinstall the new filter according to the arrow direction. This one says airflow pointing down. You can see that tiny little arrow on there. Hopefully the airflow does go downward. So this particular filter we're going to put in with the airflow arrow pointing down. Some filters have an arrow that says this side up with an arrow pointing up. So if you have that one, do it that way. If you have one that says an airflow arrow pointing down, you insert it that way. We'll grab our plastic cover and reinstall that. Just snaps back into place. Now we'll go ahead and get our glove compartment put back in. You simply line up the little guides on the bottom here to the hangers on the glove compartments, or the dash rather. Once you get those in place, you can pretty much just push it until it clicks. Those little arms on the side over here and on this side will snap back into place. And you just grab the little tensioner from up here, pull it down like so, and then snap it back on to the clip. And you're all done with the cabin air filter. So we'll go ahead and make our way into the engine bay and locate the air filter air box on the vehicle. It's located right behind the battery on the right side if you're looking at the truck from the front. We're standing over the driver's side tire right now looking at the air box, and you'll notice there's two little bolts down there. Those are 10mm bolts. They're now highlighted. You're going to want a ratcheting wrench with an extension and of course a 10mm socket to get those taken off. Start removing both of those bolts. They actually stay in the airbox. There's plastic retainers that keep them in place so you don't accidentally drop them and lose them down into the engine bay. So once we have both of those out, it's just as simple as popping the end off and sliding it away towards the driver's side tire. Lift up the airbox and reach in there and simply pull out the air filter. That's really all there is to it. No other tools required. Looking at our old air filter, this was actually a K&N High Performance that who knows when it was cleaned last, but it's pretty nasty. For now, we're going to replace that with an OEM style filter. You're obviously welcome to put a K&N in your vehicle if you don't have one in there already. And looking at our new filter and the K&N, you see I've highlighted one corner on each filter. There's an extra sharp corner on the filter which helps align it when you're putting it back into the airbox. So that corner only fits on one side of the airbox, which I'm pointing to right now. So that corner closest to the battery and the driver's side tire, that's where you want to align that particular corner of the filter. So it simply slides right back in, fits into place in its little seat underneath the airbox, and that's really all there is to it. You set it in there, and then you can see here we have the corner, the tight corner, located on that lower portion of the box. We're going to slide the box back into place, and there's actually on the left side there these two little highlighted tabs that guide right into the associated tabs on the bottom part of the airbox. You slide those into place, they'll kind of snap into position, and then you're ready to tighten the bolts down back on the front and the back of the airbox. Just get them nice and snug. There's no torque spec or anything like that. The most important thing is just making sure everything is seated around the airbox over the filter before you tighten everything down. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. We have a new cabin air filter and engine intake filter on our 2013 Toyota Highlander. This process applies to all of the Highlanders of this generation and is probably pretty similar to even the newer models and the previous generation as well. You can find the details for that down in the description. In this video, we used an air filter and cabin air filter from Fram. If you want to upgrade or use a more high performance engine intake filter, you can actually use a K&N performance filter, which we'll link down in the description with the other products as well. The only difference with that one is you do have to clean it a little more regularly, and it's not just as simple as swapping out the old one and throwing in a new one. You got to pull out the K&N filter, clean it with a cleaning solution, and re-oil it before putting it back into the truck. For the OEM style filter like we installed today, you're going to want to replace those every 10 to 15,000 miles, depending on how much off-roading or snowy weather or dirty type of weather that you drive in. If you're driving in weather where it's dirty, you're going to want to replace that filter every 10,000 miles. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope the video was helpful. If you have any thoughts, comments, or questions, please leave those down below. I would love to hear from you. Stay safe out there. I am checking out, and we'll talk to you all next time.